as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force it off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn one.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom.
Bouchard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh,
and to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Hello and welcome everybody, or welcome back if you're a returning viewer to the Racers Nexus broadcast channel. Folks, this is going to be Breaking Bad. We are at Monza for round 1. Let's take a look at what we have in store for us, folks. Monza, Italy, a track length of 3.6 miles or 5.7 kilometers. It was founded in 1922. It's the current layout from the early 2000s. Located in Monza, Italy, we have 11 turns, 4 to the left, 7 to the right, with 13 feet or 43 feet, or 13 meters of elevation change. Drivers are going to be full throttle about 85% of the lap, so slipstream strategy is going to be paramount here in Italy. It'll be interesting to see how the drivers fare, and let's give a big shout out and thanks to our sponsor for tonight as well. We wouldn't be here without the love and support by Circle by Technically Gifted. If you need tech consulting, websites, flyers, etc., check out technicallygifted.io. Headed into the last couple minutes of the qualifying session now. Couple of drivers still out there gritting. Let's go ahead and introduce ourselves now. I'm Sagarbachi, aka The Real High, and these are Track Cams 22 at you live, and it is a beautiful track camera package that we are using. And the season info, it'll be week 1 of 10 at Monza in a 60-minute sprint. Next week's track will be at Imola. Jed Coderman is the driver that tops the charts right now, with Kyle Dersham in P2, Roberto Perez in P3, Kyle Smith in P4, Javi Sierra in P5, Lesson Young Dilworth in 6th, Josiah Kelly in 7th, Jean Voigt in 8th. See if we can go on board with Voigt here. Inside the Huracan GT3 for Deepwater Racing right now. Currently in 8th place. Can they do any better than that? Coming up to Curva Parabolica, a look at the stamp and a send to carry the speed and momentum through the final corner, but it will be an in-lap for Jean Voigt now. coming up to the last driver in the last 2 minutes and 30 seconds of the qualifying session. Zhou, Twum, and Tsui. Currently running in 19th place right now, but knows he can do a little bit better. 1.5 off the good. And in this pack of drivers, 1.5 seconds back, we do have a huge pack of drivers within a 1 second margin. 13 drivers within 1 second of each other in this dynamic grid that we have of 38 drivers in total. And I know I said dynamic. It's a conjugation of ginormous and gigantic, of course. And that'll be it. The final driver setting their final laps. No, we still have James Clark running around right now, currently running in 32nd, and Jeffrey Strong as well. And now the driver in 32nd with no team to his name, apparently. Let's see if the number 50 can clean it up. When they get to the line, no, it'll be a 149.02, and that will be it. Jeffrey Strong as well gets to the line, concludes their lap. A lot of lonely teams out there, unfortunately, as the Red Bull driver not having a team associated with them, it looks like. Now, Jeffrey Strong coming into the second chicane. This is the Roggia chicane. And then into the first of the Lesmos, the Curva del Lesmo 1. I don't think that's how they say it in Italian. And then Lesmo 2 is where you chuck it in, go all the way out to the painted lines, and then try not to tread on Italy, but that'll actually be the conclusion of the qualifying session. So let's look at the results now. Roberto Perez topped the charts in P1, and then Jed Coderman in P2, Kyle Dersham in P3. Kyle Smith in 4th, Javi Sierra in 5th, Jason Lung Dilworth in 6th, Josiah Kelly in 7th, John Voight in 8th, Maduro in 9th, and Carl Ross in 10th. Warm-up period underway, so we'll take a few minutes to let the drivers cool down before we get ready for this 1 hour race, folks. There's a lot of history here at the Autodromo Internazionale that we can talk about, but I do need to talk about and highlight some of the keys to the race. And these are things that the drivers need to be aware of. These are things that the viewers need to be aware of. Hello, Wyatt Warmick, 6366, and Jordan Davies also cheering for the number 12. So if we got cheers for the number 12, you know what that means. We've got to get them on the camera. Let's see if we can catch a glimpse of where Marshall Darden is located. Are they in pit lane? We'll have to get a look at Marshall Darden here in a few minutes, but we'll keep an eye out for them, folks, as they cheer for the number 12. Let's talk about the keys of the race, and maybe these will help Marshall Darden get a little bit further up the grid than where they currently sit. Now, slipstream strategy. We've talked about this for a little bit. We'll talk about it again. Monza is draft city. The long straights mean slipstreaming can make or break a lap in both qualifying and in race conditions. Catching a toe down the main straight or the Curva della Roggia can gain up to 0.3 to 0.5 per lap. Bravery under braking is key number 2. With 3 of the heaviest braking zones in motorsport, Rettifilo and Roggia and Ascari turn 8, brake performance and stability are critical. Perfect trail braking and a stable rear end are key to keeping the car straight and maximizing corner entry here in Italy. Key number 3 affects your setup, so the drivers can't really take effect of this, but you got to have a low drag setup here at Monza. It demands minimal aerodynamic drag. Teams will run the lowest downforce settings of the season, almost Le Mans level trim. So the drivers have to set up their setups to where they have this low drag, but they've still got to be able to make it through the chicane. Happy birthdays for the number 28. Where's the 28? That's Zachary Clemens. And now, coming through Curva Grande now for Clemens. Happy birthday to you, brother. Hopefully you have a wonderful day. And hopefully you have a wonderful race, more importantly. I think that's a very important part about spending your birthday on the racetrack with a whole bunch of friends, and this is quite the celebration. 37 of your closest friends on track with you. Hopefully this is one of your favorite tracks, Mr. Clemens. So you tell me, folks, how would you like to celebrate your birthday? The warm-up is now concluded, and we are in the golden hour of Monza, Italy racing. This is going to be epic. This is going to be absolutely fantastic. Let's take a look at Roberto Perez on that pole position in just a few moments' time when we get everybody ready to race, folks. Let's go through the starting grid, shall we, folks? It'll be Roberto Perez in P1 next to Jed Cotterman in P2. Kyle Deschamps in P3. Alongside will be Kyle Smith in the 55. Javi Sierra in the 979 next to the 888 of Lesson Young. Josiah Kelly in 7th next to Jean Voigt in 8th. 9th place for Maduro. 10th place for Ross. Moving on to row number 6, it will be Cole Malley in 11th, Kenneth Coping in 8th, Chet Miller in 13th, Dennis Crosby in 14th. On the 8th row, Frank Perrault and De La Silva Row 9, Perez, Ibram, and Oliver Brooks. Apologize for the mispronunciations. Joe Twum Antwi, Zachary Clemens, your man in the birthday suit, Brian Lavrisa, and Jack Clark, P21 and P22. Jamie MacArthur and Kobe Brooks will line the 12th row tonight. 13 belonging to TJ Yankee and Rafael Rodriguez. Jeff Sanders and Doug Betts in row 14. Row 15, Owen Huffington and Marshall Darden in a beautiful marble livery. Nicholas Paul and James Clark alongside each other. And the safety car is in. We'll have to conclude the grid. I apologize. And we're ready to go green flag racing here in the race start. It is getting hectic. It is getting crazy. We're 5 wide galore in the background. Kyle Deschem leads the charge. Will it be 2 by 2 going in towards 1? It will be 2 by 2 going in towards 2. Neat and tidy out all the drivers making their way downtown, walking fast, faces past, and they are homebound. Look at how clean this field is, coming through Italy with no incidents. It's absolutely fantastic. Let's take a look at the grid and the graphics now. Things have cleared up just a little bit. It's getting dicey for Johnny Sierra, who's currently 6th place right now in front of John Voight. But the battle at the front stays continued and tight as Jed Connerman and Kyle Deschem have gained 1 on the good of things and lead the pack. Rafael Rodriguez losing a position to TJ Yankee. Now taking a look again at John Voight. No, we're not, because we're going to stay on board with this battle here, because this is going to get dicey going into Ascari. Can Rafael Rodriguez cover it off? He does from the Porsche behind. That is on the attack. More shaking and baking as things evolve in the front field as well. It will be Coleth May and Carl Ross going toe-to-toe. And there goes May forward, and it looks like a touch from Carl Ross from behind. And a crisscross applesauce 3 wide through Parabolica. Down the front straight away we go. It will be the battle for the top 10, but these cars are battling like it's a battle for the lead of the race right now. The 06 of May, caught in the sandwich of all the cars, goes to the optimum racing line. The 2 Corvettes have to decide what to do with this now. The 06 mounts the sausage curve. The Corvette behind has a big winner under Carl Ross in the number 4. Now, have things finally settled down for me to catch my breath? I don't think so, because Deschem looks to the inside line on Maduro, the number 93, coming through Lesmo 2. And it's Mustang on Mustang violence here. And we're Breaking Bad GT3, brought to you by the Nexus Racing broadcast channel, folks. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you very much for staying tuned. It's a pleasure to be your host. I am Sagar Bakshi, and we are racing GT3s for another 56 minutes and 45 seconds. And there goes Maduro through on Dilworth. Apologize for the technical hiccup, folks. 1 second as we get them resolved. And we're going to have to wait for the tower to update because I don't believe that Robert Nelson is in the lead of the race. I believe that should be Jed Cotterman, who's being chased down by Kyle Smith. The battle for second and first now. GT3s are fierce, especially around a track like this. And Keon Malley again. Cole Malley, excuse me. Again making moves here through Parabolica. Lynn Moore here. Mama Marsh cheering on Marshall. And we are verifying that this is a network issue, not a hardware issue. I apologize for the disruption, folks. Brian Lavrisa looking like he wants to shake and bake on the Mustang in front. Cheers for the number 12 again in chat. That's Marshall Darden running in P27 right now. And there's an off. I believe that'll be Doug Betts with that off there. And Turn 3 Esports turning into the Kitty Litter Esports, unfortunately. And off the track now. Back over to Jed Cotterman's battle and the lead of the race with Kyle Smith as the tower resets itself. Kyle Smith is only half a second back right now. Let's go on board with Smith. If we could go on board with Smith, we would, but now we're looking at the chopper cam of the number 55, and this is one of the closest battles on track that we get to see. And it is, fortunately, the battle for P1 currently. We also have the battle between Carl Ross and Josiah Kelly going wheel to wheel. Curva Grande, the Ferrari, and the Corvette are now going to go toe-to-toe, and the Ferrari cuts back aggressively to the inside line, under braking, hits the sausage curb, and it looks like the number 4 Reaper Racing team mounts the attack and gets through. Marshall, the number 12, says keep that pressure on in the 26th place. Let's look at Marshall really quickly, who is running that beautiful marble livery that we saw in the grid showdown. The number 12 looking very good out there and is only a second back from the car in front right now. A beautiful glistening marble livery, one of the most iconic things you can see. And this is iconic as it gets. The run down to Ascari, the 15th place car, Woza, the 75 Porsche, just absolutely licked to the stamp and sent it there on the AMG. Roberto Perez currently in a recovery drive. Jeff Sanders in 20th position as Roberto Perez finds a way through. Lynn Marie cheers again for Marshall there. Jean Voigt getting by Cole May, or is Cole May getting by Jean Voigt here? Because it's getting a little dicey going in towards turn 1. That chicane can claim lives side by side through Curva Grande. Doesn't really slow them down too much. Cole May now officially ahead of Voigt on the tower. Closes off the gap. The 06 is through. And now up into 7th position. Great clean racing here. Now more attacks. Jean Voigt defending back from Carl Ross further back. On board with Ross for a moment in time, but again, that just doesn't work out. I'm sorry. Beautiful attacking moves there. Cole May, Kyle Deschem, John Voigt. 2x2 we go racing down into Parabolica. Who's gonna blink first now? It will be officially a squabble for the top 5 in just a few moments. Side by side into towards turn 1. Kyle Deschem, Josiah Kelly kicks up some dirt off into the grass now. Side by side again through Curva Curva Grande. Rosa, the number 11 crisscross applesauce, moves under the braking zone. That was a bit dangerous, but pulls it off cleanly.